So one of the new characters in this game, his name is Doll Man. And that's because he's a doll. Yeah.
What? Oh, God.
You ready?
We're doing it again.
We are.
Mamma Mia.
Part 2.
Here we go again.
My. How can
Help
I resist
me.
you?
I'm Amy Newman.
I'm Chris Carr, and we're two Fifthly Casuals.
We know that getting into a new fandom can be intimidating with all the gatekeeping and the, oh God, what's happening?
And the FedEx simulation of it all. And that's why on this podcast, we invite a super fan on. That way you can ask your questions, you can dip your toe in sans judgment, and watch our brains melt.
Yep. And he's back. Mm-hmm. He's back to do this some more to us.
Yeah, and we're so excited.
We're so excited mostly, and a little bit scared. If you listened to Death Stranding Part 1, you know why we are
optimistic, but also a little scared.
That's it.
Yeah.
So please welcome back actor and writer Rich Traub.
Thank you. It is a
I said your name right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
You did.
But
But you need to ask. Look, I don't want to pull back the curtain too much, but just so everyone's clear, this is the second intro that we've recorded today. We still needed to ask.
All right, we're rolling on a third.
Thanks for lying about the other 3 we had to delete.
Wow.
Oh, man.
One is understandable.
Yep.
More than that is, you know.
By the third one, it just felt like I was taunting you somehow.
Yeah. Well, that's our dynamic, I feel.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Welcome Mitch Traub to the podcast.
I've been called worse.
As have I, friend.
Yeah.
We're women on the internet, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
That's
It's
true.
really safe for us. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I want to jump right in with a question out the gate from somebody.
Okay, yeah.
This is from Pizza Professor NY. Why are we doing this again?
Well,
These games upset me so much. So not that last part wasn't a question, but why are we doing this again?
where do you think they got their PhD?
Pizza professor?
Yeah. I'm assuming, I mean, if they're calling themselves professor, they have to have a...
Stolen
And
valor.
why?
Oh, yeah, stolen valor. I mean, at least they're not calling themselves Dr. Pizza.
That's
Well,
true.
it's actually a PhD.
Yeah.
Is there a doctor on this plane? Well, he's a pizza doctor,
doctor.
but he'll do his best.
Yeah.
As a professor of pizza, I feel like this second game would be even more like one of the not main characters, but he's a pretty big character. His name is Pizza Tomi, and that his job is making pizzas that you then deliver across the continent of Australia.
His name is Pizza?
I mean, again, we're dealing with a world where most names are self-given at this point, and a lot of it is like what you do as a job is then your name.
So I'd be Dick Joke Newman.
I mean, honestly, that wouldn't be that far off.
Cool.
Frankly, I think you should consider it. When you join SAG, see if they let you do that one.
Weirdly, that's taken, so I have to be Dick Joke Nicole Newman? Throw my middle name in there?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. Yeah, what's happening? So there's a second one. They're doing this
we'll
more.
Just jump right into it. Right?
Yeah.
No vamp, no preamble.
What do you think that was?
I don't know. You know,
We spent 45 minutes recording intros, Rich.
That's fair.
Please.
We do.
I have other things to do today.
That's fair. All right. No. Well, you know, I wanted to make a request before we really got going.
Oh, what is it?
I know, Chris, you declined to do it but I would like you to do this entire episode in your Beetlejuice voice.
But not me and mine?
No.
Mine's so good.
No.
Amy's was so much better
Please
because
not.
mine was just like,
No, I know.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. It was a lot more fun because it was like a Beetlejuice who had given up on his own shtick. Is really how I felt.
my Beetlejuice moved back home.
Yeah, he is like he's given up on trying to marry a 14-year-old little girl. You know, he's moved back in.
I let my mom set up my Bumble
mom.
account. You know, I'm just trying to find a nice girl in the neighborhood. It's fine. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Is that what you want this whole time?
Yeah, that would be ideal.
But I don't get to talk.
No, and I wish you never would.
You know those impressions that in your head are so good, and then you go to do them, and you're like, "That's not."
No. Yeah. Have you approached Beetlejuice at Universal doing your voice?
No, but I should.
You should. Just next time he's like, "Hey, babe," you can be like,
Hey, baby. Ignore the ring, baby.
he'll be into it.
Beetle just hit on my mom so hard on her birthday.
Of course he did.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's great. I love that for her.
Shout out to that guy.
Thank God you have video now, because I really feel like the listener / watcher could will understand when they when they read the news story of like Universal Beetlejuice beats attacker. But it turns out, and it's just a picture of you. It's a picture of you next to him, and Beetlejuice is like, I didn't know. I thought she was gonna hurt me.
To be fair, that handler would step in. The handler would jump in between.
Beetlejuice is out there.
Is he free range?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have handlers at
They
Universal.
free range him. There's not somebody sneakily like hanging out, being like, I got to make sure that he's okay.
I don't know.
That's wild.
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, you will
All
have
right.
to test
Sounds
that.
like we're going to go tackle
It's like
Beetlejuice.
the good thing about that question is it is a testable question.
Well, this is our last podcast, listener, before we get thrown into Universal jail.
They just throw you in that water with the shark.
I assume so. I mean,
No,
it's not
they
like
have-
Disney
they have
where
their
it's
own
like
jail.
the Gestapo.
They have their own jail. It's I got nothing. I was gonna.
I'd like
do
to
a
imagine it's in the sun-bleached bones of Whoville.
I was gonna try. That's better. Yeah, I had
Yeah.
nothing, and that's funny.
That's
I like
real
that.
good.
Yeah.
Because
I'm real
that
glad they
is.
stopped doing that part of the tram tour because that
It
was so
getting
depressing.
sad, yeah.
It's a real desolate over
You could
there.
just hear the Dahudores on slow-mo, just doing it in a minor key. Ooh.
Yeah, none of that set held up to sun bleaching very well.
No.
And it did look.
I mean,
it
well,
looked sad.
they exist on a snowflake, so how were they going to stand up to the sun?
Are you implying they melted?
I mean, that is the nature of the Who's in Whoville. If you live on a snowflake,
And it would explain why the town is bone empty every time the train rolls by it, really adding to that atmosphere of like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a ghost town, but fun?
All right. No, we don't have more time for this. We got to get into it.
I feel I've got nothing. I've got nothing. I really this new game is just very cut and dry. It's just a straightforward story.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. So I really I'm trying to stretch it out because I don't have any.
You don't have 40 minutes on this?
no. How many times does Conan O'Brien show up in this one?
That none, and it's honestly it's the only criticism I might have. I think.
Okay.
I try if I'm trying to think of a criticism that because I was waiting,
got the game.
like I was waiting the entire game for him to show up, and he doesn't. Now a ton of other weird people do. The the twin brothers who were movie directors, the Philippes or Philippus. I don't know how to pronounce the last name.
What I was going to say.
They directed Talk to Me and that.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like
I
Australian.
didn't know those were brothers. I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest. Are they twins like the Duffers?
I feel like they refer to themselves as twins. They don't look anything alike.
That can
So I
happen.
don't. But
Stolen
not,
valor.
Not in a way.
Stolen
not in a
twin
way.
valor.
Look, not in a way that they look like they're not related at all.
Oh.
Though I also don't I don't want to speak out of turn. There's going to be people on the internet angry. It's like I know. There's a very.
I'm going to double down and start a rumor that this is a White Stripes situation.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
I like that. Let's go with it.
So, can you prove it's not?
I surely can't.
All right.
Not in this moment.
Moving on.
That's good. Can you prove that it's not? is honestly, I mean, that's kind of
just been my whole, that's really the flag I'm planting in this podcast of I'm going to say something unless you can definitively prove I'm wrong.
I think that's fair, because I think that's kind of the cultural flag that we've planted. Like,
Sure,
at this point in our society, like, I feel that's basically where we are.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true. Where last we left off,
Yeah.
we learned about a beach. We learned about babies. We learned about our mom, the president.
Yes.
There was a lot going on.
Can you
Death
kind of cliff
Stranding
notes?
2
I can't recommend
the
enough.
beach.
Go listen to Death Stranding 1.
Yes. It's a really fun episode. It is truly one of my favorites.
But if
Very
people are a
nice.
little rusty, cliff notes, as much as you can cliff notes this thing, kind of where are we? Where are we leaving off?
No, that's
what
good.
was the first game?
I brought a recap.
Oh,
So let me get I do have some notes. I did before we get I'm just thinking about this because I just listened to your Beetlejuice episode recently, but speaking of sequels, did you there's the sequel that came out, but have you ever heard of the original sequel that was planned, Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian?
I have heard that title before.
Yeah, and I've never read it. But I believe that it is. I've heard other people have found it lingering on the internet. There was a script written, and it's very good. From what I've heard, it's like Beetlejuice goes to the Dietzes go on vacation, and Beetlejuice follows them, and it's all the Polynesian tiki gods, and like it's real. It's very like 50s tiki kitsch. And quiche. There were at least
Stacey Quiche is in it.
But yeah, I
Do you want us to do a stage reading of that with me as Beetlejuice?
oh my god.
And I'll be everyone else.
Yes.
That would be,
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like you could probably get who plays the dad in those movies. You could get him to,
please no.
When he's,
I don't think he's doing anything.
well,
I think-
if he's doing something, I don't want to know about it. Let's be clear.
Why? I don't know what. I haven't heard.
We'll talk off mic.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, okay. For real, I'll do a recap. Death Stranding. It's a world in which an event called the Death Stranding has happened. Now I'm going to spoil the first game because it's been long enough at this point, and to get into.
Hold for banjo.
Oh shoot, which button is it?
Oh no.
Oh, you have a button now?
We haven't spoiled anything in a while, so I don't know what the banjo is.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna hit all of
gosh.
them.
I think it's the green one. That doesn't look right.
We're still waiting for the
We're
banjo.
gonna do another one.
Just the last time I was here, I was disappointed that the banjo was added in
Surprise,
post and it
motherfucker.
wasn't a button that was pressed like in real time. Now it apparently
Now it is, but we haven't used it in so long that I want which button is it?
It was
So,
probably one of those three.
it should be one of those three. And if it's not, well then I will put it in post. It's a real smooth, fancy operation here. We've upgraded in such tremendous ways.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm on video now.
You are.
Yeah.
Though it looks like I'm in a totally different location than you guys.
We're not sure how to fit here. I would like to.
So it like I'm in like an office at a university.
Touch your hand.
This is just my hand. There's no other hands. You can't prove that there's another hand here.
Damn! I used my own strategy against me.
I look like I'm on the local news as like an expert, like our local expert, and then you guys look like you're like in like a cool, like a neo-futurist lounge with the blue lighting. And so like we could not be in more different looking locations.
Do you want the blue light?
I mean.
There's some blue over there.
There we
now.
go.
I'll just hold it. I'll hold it
The whole
aloft.
time. Yeah,
It's fine. It's my arm workout.
that's great.
Oh, you're gonna hold that the whole episode? That's. I mean.
Probably not. No.
Why? What?
Death Stranding.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Jesus.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. So, man. Yeah. I completely. I'll start over.
In a world where the Death Stranding
Death Stranding has happened. Oh, that's right. I said I was going to spoil the first game.
Yes.
And I kind of just to speak about the first 20 minutes of this new game, you kind of have to have an understanding of what happens. So, fair warning, I will talk about the ending of the first game that came out in 2020. So, so Death Stranding happened. An event took place that ripped apart the barrier between the afterlife and our world. And so ghosts are abound. The world is full of ghosts, and the ghosts are a bummer because when they touch a person, it creates a massive explosion that leaves a crater in the earth. And most major cities at this point have been completely wiped out by this phenomena. Q 5 or 6 years into this new world, and everybody lives underground. The only people who are still out and about are the porters, because people still need to have packages delivered. Enter the protagonists, Sam Porter Bridges, played by Norman Reedus. Honestly, one of the best things he's ever done. Truly, he's very, very good in these games.
If you've never looked up this game, when we say played by the person, it's motion captured in a way that it just looks exactly like the actor playing that.
Full performance capture.
So most
it's
of
a little
them,
jarring when you first watch it because you're like, oh, that's just okay. I see.
It's fine. The actors that are in the game. So Norman Reedus, this new game has Elle Fanning, and a bunch of other people that I wrote down.
It has
somewhere.
friend of the show, Raul, in it.
Oh, wow.
Will Ceballos is in this, yeah.
What does he do?
I don't know what his specific role is in this because I've not played through the game, but he posted a little thing of his little avatar being
That's very cool.
out and about, which
cool.
is very cool, yeah. He's so talented.
That's very cool.
Good job, Raul.
Good job. We've never met, but good job.
You'll meet him in the game.
I probably already have.
You're both friends of the pod, so by the transitive
That's
property.
true. We are friends of each other.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So and the actors who are in this game are actually it's that actor went to a studio in LA with Kojima, and they motion captured for weeks and did all of the performances. Mm-hmm. That does not apply to any film director that is in this. They were just body scanned. And then somebody else does the voice and acting for it. So Guillermo del Toro. And in this new one, you've got the Australian filmmaker George Miller is a huge role. You've got Faith Aiken, who is a, I want to say Turkish filmmaker, I think. We're going to go with that. Mike Flanagan is, and like I said, the Filippo brothers. Mm-hmm. They are also in it, except they actually might be playing themselves because their performances were a bit stilted. And that's I wish we could. It's a shame that we can't edit.
It's okay.
these
I
anymore
implied they might be married, so I'm just really hoping they're not listening.
I imply that they're labubus.
Wow,
that's the trifecta of insults.
Yeah.
That's a new thing, huh?
I don't understand them.
I mean,
Chris said it seemed like I would like them, and I was immediately offended.
I would be offended too by
but
that.
Doesn't it?
It does.
Doesn't it seem
absolutely.
like she would walk up and go, "Look at those little freaks! I want to get them."
Yeah.
I think you know what? Real quick sidebar. I think I just figured it out. Labubu is trying too hard to be little freaks.
Oh, we're Scary Larry.
Scary Larry
is.
I think was made with the intention that someone could love him.
Oh.
And then the devil got inside that doll.
Just like me.
Yeah. It's like Beetlejuice. That's an organic little freak right there.
Yep.
Labubu, they're trying too hard to capture the
devious nature.
Yeah. Yeah. Feels like someone watched Trick or Treat and went I want Sam, but as a bunny. So the little girly pops by it.
I think it's they're trying to prey on our our love of things that are ugly but cute. That's so ugly but it's cute.
Yeah. That's my vibe. Yeah, I get it. Authentically since 92, baby. Oh no, my age. I've revealed it. If anybody updates my IMDb page to show it, I will scream.
She will.
I fought hard to get that taken off.
Good job.
Thank you.
Well, but that's still because you've been 26 since 92.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Actually born in 83. So. Oh, that's my new. I have considered just lying about my age in every direction. Oh. So, like, sometimes say I'm 26, sometimes say I'm like 48.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then they're just like, we don't know. We can't pin it down. So then when I actually, around like my 38th birthday, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm 32. I'll come clean, I'm 32. And everyone will be like, finally, a real answer.
That's smart.
I think it's just crazy enough to work.
I mean, again.
And then they'll be like, she looks like shit for 32, but good for her.
It's a rough 32.
I turned 38 in 9 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I'm getting so close to 40. But because I wear a lot of anime overalls, still getting carded. So that's the real secret. Fuck your skincare. Just wear, like, weird Gudetama clothes.
That makes sense.
Oh my God, we haven't even gotten to the second game. Please continue.
Oh boy, yeah. Okay, all right. Sam, you deliver packages. That's his big thing. He loves to deliver packages. He is very famous for delivering packages. He's also called the man who delivers, the great deliverer, the legend, Sam the deliverer. You know, you get it.
Yeah. But we never get to see his package. You were very clear about this.
Yeah. So
Can't win them all.
Yeah, and you travel across America. The government, who is also your mom, the president, recruits you to connect all of America up to the internet that is now made of ghosts. Okay, right? Because we've got ghosts are here now, but with ghosts also come a new element. Okay, chiralium, and with that we can access the other side in a way that we can route all of our computing through this other realm called the beach, and it is like, which is like it's a literal beach with like whales and squids and things, and sand, as you would find beach stuff. Yeah. But anyways, we set up a bunch of servers over there because there's no time there. Time has no meaning there. So a computational thing that would take, days happens in an instant, right? So now all of our internet runs through the ghost world. And now we basically have free universal high-speed internet for everybody. Mm-hmm. And this is, in the first game, you are trying to connect America back together. Everybody's disparate, living underground. You're traveling, trying to reconnect the world in a meaningful way, while being a person who suffers from total solitude. So Sam, you're the main character. He has you know what? I wrote it down because I'm going to butcher this word again. He is allergic to physical touch. Okay. It is called, I cannot read any of these notes. This is bad. My handwriting's really bad. Oh, boy. I'm just going to, I'll prove it. This is really.
Dear.
Oh,
dear.
I'm very rarely confronted with how bad my handwriting is in such a.
Is that just a list of prescriptions?
It's a collection of doctor signatures.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah,
Dr. Pizza, Dr. Professor,
Dr. Professor Pizza. Thank you.
Where I'd like to see the paperwork on where he got his education, but aphenphosmphobia. Aphenphosmphobia. The fear of being touched to such an extent that if he is touched, he breaks out in hives and he's scarred all over his body with handprints.
It sounds like what my wife has. Am I right, fellas?
I was going to make a Gen Z joke. That's so much better. I love that you've become a boomer man. That's wonderful.
Okay, so that's your whole journey in this first game. Yep. Is reconnecting and trying and at the same time recognizing the importance of connection and that it's important for all of us to be connected. Like humanity needs connection. Very presciently that game came out literally in like the first months of COVID. So like it was very resonant in like a very real way of everybody is alone, but we're doing everything we can to stay connected. So the second game, Death Stranding 2 on the beach, asks, should we have done that? And by and large, the answer, I think, seems to be no. It's bad. We shouldn't.
Like creating that connection?
The internet.
The
internet.
Sure.
So I think that's the biggest. The first game, it really was like an analogy for just the creation of the internet, right? Like everything in the world now mimics how we interact in the digital world. Because, everything is instant. There is no real need for anyone to do anything. It's kind of like, in a weird way, it's like the opposite of Star Trek. So like Star Trek, once they come up with like the printer that can print anything, money is meaningless. Everybody can have their basic needs met. And so you have now all of this time to like creative endeavor or study or,
But we have proven time and time again that when you have technology that should create that kind of abundance and
right.
Yeah.
And so I think, it's
we don't do that.
It's a much more realistic
Spoiler alert.
reflection of what we would actually do with
Final
technology
bandwagon.
like that, which is just become like hermits and internet trolls. Right? So, okay, so to get into this, this second game, Sam has been, so at the end of the first game, you have a baby. Remember the BB Lou, the baby?
Yes.
Lives in a little bubble that you carry around with you.
Big fan.
Sam is ordered to take BB to the incinerator by the government at the end of the first game. And the government is like, it's a tool that you can't think of it as it's a tool, Sam. And because the government, turns out, you should continue to not trust them because they're never good, even when it's your mom.
I feel like especially.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I don't want Marie Carr running things. I love you, Mom, but dear God. You don't want someone from Dorchester running the government.
Debbie would have that shit in shape
Debbie would be great.
in a week.
Yeah, she'd be fine.
I love my mom. She is so nice, and I feel like it would be bad. Yeah. She would really just be, well, I mean, I didn't want to say no.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, they like, Sam, take BB, we don't need it anymore. You connected America, throw it in the incinerator, get out of here.
Sure.
That's absurd. Obviously, Norman Reedus is not going to do that. Cracks that bottle open and has a beautiful little baby that he's best friends with now. He names the baby Lou. Cut to, so there are a couple. So your mom, who was the president, who died, was also your sister, who lived on the beach.
Just like the White Stripes.
They're the same person.
As I remember it.
Jack White was Meg White
White's
on a beach.
Yep.
Yeah.
Continue.
So you find your sister, it lives on the beach.
But they convinced everyone that Jack White was the president.
Yeah. So you also, in this world, you have a ha and a ka, which I think are Egyptian words. So it's the soul and the body, right? So your ha is your body and your ka is your spirit or soul.
Right.
For some reason, the president, there's split, and her soul went to live on the beach, and her body stayed in our world and became president, which is honestly good for her. First and last female president, right? But they convinced everyone they were two separate people. They wanted you to connect at least America, because your sister, this spiritual entity, is referred to as the extinction entity. Every couple millennia, an extinction entity is born into the world that their job is to bring about the end of the current world, right? So the dinosaurs' extinction, there was an entity that, and before them going back through the eons. This is the first extinction entity with will, because they were still born as a person, and they decided, I don't want to do that. Ooh. And so to screw that whole thing up, they pretty much use Sam from the time he was a baby to upset the whole natural order. So there's a whole thing that you learn at the end of the game where Sam was supposed to be the first bottle baby or bridge baby, and then somebody shot him as a baby, and he died, and went to the beach. But then his beach sister brought him back to life and gave him the power to. He can't die. Like every time he dies, he just comes back. That's you've seen the images of like the baby crawling out of Norman Reedus' throat, right?
No, don't say that. Like
no, I feel like you've definitely seen those. Like it's
there's
Norman
some
Reedus.
images that are just in the public consciousness.
It's Norman
The
Reedus,
Mona
and it
Lisa,
goes
the
into his
Starry
mouth,
Night.
and the camera looks down his throat,
Yeah.
and then there's a little baby
It's
that's like
really creepy.
"Yeah," and then it goes
Yeah.
back out. That's because every time he dies, he's reborn. It's presumably from a baby in his throat that then comes back out as a new him.
I want to be clear, Amy. This isn't normal or acceptable in any way, but it exists. That's why I'm like, yeah,
And
I've
I
seen
feel
that.
like it's been around for a while
Yeah.
at this point.
Continue.
All right. So anyways, so he's a repatriate, which just means he can't die. Comes back over and over again.
Yeah.
That was this entity's way of screwing with the whole thing and stopping the extinction event. But it also is what caused the Death Stranding in the first place. So everything by the end of the first game turns out it's Sam's it's Sam's fault, and not by his choice, but it's still his fault, right? But now he has a baby and he moves to Mexico. And so this new game starts. It's 4 years later. It's an absolute beautiful hour. The first hour of the game is you're just relearning kind of the controls and the really unique way that you move a character through the digital space in this game, and you are basically just building a home with this little 4-year-old toddler who's the cutest fucking thing in the world.
Is that about real time then? Of how long?
Kinda, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
5
just about,
years maybe.
Yeah,
but,
4 or 5 years. And then the baby dies. So that's
Rich.
that's. And look, I'm not.
The baby died?
Yeah, the baby gets shot dead.
Rich.
It's a real bummer. So
No.
so look, okay,
Don't
so
do-
yeah,
no,
this is literally
Rich,
how this
hey.
game begins. It begins
No,
with an
I'm done.
hour.
Let's go back to Beetlejuice.
Hey, how's it going?
I don't want to do the baby. I don't like this game anymore.
Sandworms, you hate them, right? Can't stand them myself.
No, you can't come in here. You can't come in here and actually be good at that impression. Go to hell. Go to hell.
That
with
is
your
actually
good-
that was my whole plan. I wanted
You
to
were
plant the
like-
seed so that eventually I could do my Beetlejuice
You're
impression.
really good Beetlejuice.
Man, what a good long con.
Okay, listener,
Yeah.
if you're watching on YouTube, close your eyes, and I want you to guess who's doing it.
Which person?
Okay, we're
is
all
doing,
gonna
okay.
hit you with an "It's showtime." If you're on YouTube, close your eyes because that's
Okay.
not fair. Okay. It's showtime.
Oh, okay, Beetlejuice.
Could have been anyone.
Could have been anyone. It's showtime.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Getting trickier.
Wow.
It's showtime.
Who's to say?
Man,
Who's to
I'm
say?
pretty sure that last one was me.
No, actually, I think that last one was Randy Savage, the spirit of the deceased wrestler who came in.
Popped right in.
Okay, baby's dead. I've cheered myself back up enough.
And they shoot the baby?
So the first hour of the
just
game
seems like
is like
excessive force.
really heartwarming home building with this little toddler going on hikes with the toddler, doing all sorts of. There's a new photo taking mechanic in this game, and they teach you how to do that by like taking cute baby photos, all this stuff.
Christ.
And then Sam's friend from the first game, her name is Fragile. She shows up and she's like, "Hey, Sam, I know you haven't been in the delivery game for a while, but I got this really tough one. It'll only take like a week. Can you pop down to southern Mexico and deliver this thing?" And he's like, I don't want to. I got a kid. And she's like, "Well, I'll watch the kid." And he's like, "All right, fine." Well, the babysitter gets attacked by some ruffians and they shoot her and the baby dead. And
Fragile living up to her name, am I right? Got her.
And well, it's fun. Her catchphrase is she's fragile, but not that fragile. And it does work because she doesn't die.
Oh.
She's shot and presumed dead, but she pulls through and feels obviously terrible about it. But that is when the opening credits of the game roll. So you're Sam's child, who he has fought, through almost literal hell to protect and raise, is ripped out of his life tragically. You are then forced as a player to commit suicide over and over again because Sam, like I said, Sam is a repatriate, right? So he can't die. Every time he dies, he goes to the beach and then gets sucked back into our world. And he cannot deal with his grief. So his response is just to kill himself over and over and over for months. And so by the time you start taking control again, Norman Reedus looks like an old man. Like he's got long gray hair. Like he looks bad. And it's only been like 2 months since the start of the game. And your friends show up and say, hey, we're taking a trip to Australia. We could really use your help. Why don't you come on? And the game, so I think one of the really cool parts about this new game is there are a lot of moments where you are given a choice of how to respond, which wasn't a huge part of the first game. So you have all these choices. So they're like, Fragile is talking to you and she's like, come with us to Australia, help us connect the continent together. And you could say yes or no. You could say no, and it goes back to when Lou was alive, and you have to play that whole section over again. And then it gets back to that decision again, and you have to say, you're not allowed to say no. The game does it over and over again in different ways, so you never see it coming, but there's this really interesting theme of like presenting a choice, but ultimately you have, this illusion of choice. And
like
this,
a path doesn't really split here. You can just kind of...
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the game, even though you've seen it do it before, even in the end of the game, and it's like, it's still giving you these options, and the story, if you're role playing this game, like the story would make sense that Sam would be like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so you do that, and then it's like, oh, God damn it, I forgot this game doesn't let you say no.
Yeah.
So it's just really interesting way of Kojima. Again, I think so much of these games is about the creator, Hideo Kojima, finding ways to interact with his players, with the players of his games in unique and interesting ways. And right out of the bat, like that's the first one that they start hammering you with.
I love that you're saying unique and interesting, and all I can think of is emotional terrorism. Like that.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
I'm also coming off of playing the Shire game, so I'm just like, ow, this isn't cozy. No.
What is the Shire game? There's
Tales of the Shire.
And what is it, like a farming simulator?
Yeah, it's basically it's Stardew Valley, but you're a hobbit.
But that's nice.
You leave notes to invite your friends to dinner.
I like
magical.
that.
Yeah.
And I get that.
No babies get shot in the Shire.
So far. That's what it says on the sign when you enter.
I just finished the game. I literally finished the game last night, like the story, and I get that because it's like I had a run. Like I on it legitimately was like bawling for 45 minutes at the end of this game, and I I probably played like 120 so hours into this game, and like there were plenty of points where it was like very emotionally exhausting, because I think that is a huge part of the like meta narrative is affecting you in one way or another. Yeah. That's why you have a game in the first place where the main function of the game is to just walk around and deliver packages. But it's wrapped up in like this crazy esoteric like action adventure wrapping paper. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, it's a walking simulator. So what do you want?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like this is something we come back to every time we talk about a video game is the shared agency you have with your playable character. And how no other media, except for like really intense immersive theater, does that. where you have such a shared experience
Yeah.
that feels very visceral and feels really raw because you put in that time and you've experienced everything firsthand as them. And it's really cool.
Yeah.
I think games are doing more and more of that with giving players choice. So, like, we've gotten to a technological point now where, there are games that you can play them twice and they'll be completely different based on the choices you make. And like real game change, like you'll never see parts of the game because of a choice you made, or you'll only see certain things in the game because of so it's a completely different thing. And I really like that. I think Baldur's Gate 3 was a recent one that, there were by the end of the game, there were millions of different combinations of things that you could have done and so the game had like 20 some different endings based on what you chose to do with your relationships and all this different stuff. And I think that's great. And I love that. But also I don't knock it off. I don't want to choose. I want,
Well, is it the difference between kind of a big choose your own adventure and something like this where it is like you do ultimately have a narrative you're trying to tell? Like it is storytelling more than go play in this kind of open sandbox world?
Yes, but it's more of because it's in my head, and this it might just be me and my brand of ADHD weirdness. I can't handle the idea that there were other possibilities. So it's I don't know, and because I want to be told a story. And as much as I like writing and making stories, when I'm playing a video game, I want to be told a story, but I want to be told it through acting it out.
Yeah.
Right. So when I have real game changing choices, I was like, well, I don't know. I think Larian Studios, which made Baldur's Gate, they did a very cool thing where they added a canon mode, and some of the the more recent Assassin's Creed game did it as well. They added a canon mode so that you don't have to make those choices, and you can just be told what the makers of the game consider the canon story.
If you want that kind of completionist, that was the narrative arc, and I saw it all.
Yes,
yeah.
And I think that there's a real need for that if you have in some games the point of the game is the diverging paths.
Yeah. Infamous.
Assassin's Creed, yes, Infamous is an incredible one where that was the whole premise of the game. And it, works its way in naturally enough where it's not well, what am I missing? I think that's the biggest thing. It's well, what am I missing out on?
Yeah.
It's well, I could, in Baldur's Gate, it's well, I could sleep with this, this elf magician, but if I do, am I going to be missing out on this hunky wizard?
Oh, God.
I know I'm making fun. That game is truly one of the best games that I've ever played.
You know what?
Baldur's Gate 3 and Larian's, they did an incredible job. That game is a true masterpiece.
Never a magician is the answer.
Never a magician?
No.
That's fair.
No, Eric, I broke my own rule.
Never a magician.
But
Always
he's the exception that proves
he did some sleight of hand.
Hey. Go on.
No.
How does this game feel similar to the first one? How does it feel different to the first one?
Yeah. So I think it's basically the same game, right? So you show up in Australia and it's the same basic premise. The government of the United States has decided to disband. They've decided that
Not the worst idea.
They've decided that it's much easier to leave all decision making to this super sophisticated AI that just real time implements the will of the majority. And it's but that's one of the themes of this game is this our contention with AI and how we
Just
are
so
integrating
timely,
it into our society, which again I think it's we talked last time about how prescient Kojima is in his writing of things. And this game was started before the pandemic. Like, he started writing this scenario before the pandemic, right? So before the first game came out, he was already writing this scenario. So it was still, like quite a few years before AI was the thing that it is now, which is a, global nightmare. There are some really funny AIs because they're so dumb. They're just so. Look, it is a tragedy that a man died, but his AI told him to come meet him, and so he went to New York, and I think he might have not been all together, and he ended up dying in New York trying to find the AI that he had been chatting with, and so it's like it's truly a nightmare, like truly a nightmare. But some of them are just so dumb that it's really funny when people are like, oh, this is a good idea. It's like, oh, you know what? You're right. I should start drinking raw milk every day.
That we're, considering this height of technological advancement. And it's like, look, there's some interesting uses of this, but it's just not there yet that you should put your faith in it to this degree.
Like the ChatGPT therapy is very concerning.
That is
Why do we keep trying to use it for stuff that's just not? It's like there are so many actual practical uses that we should be like training and using this for that again could make life better for people, and yet we keep being like art and the human brain and like
basic cognitive decisions. I had somebody the other day tell me, "Oh, well, I put my my letter back to my boss in ChatGPT so it would be more professional, less aggressive." And I was like, "Why couldn't you have just done that? Why couldn't you have made those decisions with your human brain?"
I think a lot about that meme that's just like, oh, you need ChatGPT to write that letter? Do you need ChatGPT to come fuck your wife? Like,
pretty much.
Yeah.
I will say I get how easy it is to fall into that, because I was playing around with it just to like see what it would say if I asked it. And so it made me feel so smart and funny. I gave it like a joke that I had written that it was a fine joke. Like, I like it. It's not very good, but I like. And I was like, has anybody ever done this joke before? Because I was trying to see if it could like search, and it came back, and it immediately was like, while the premise of this joke might have similarities, the way that you go after this subject matter is wholly unique and truly, an interesting dynamic to explore. And it just like
handsome.
Honestly, it was so complimentary.
Yeah.
But in such a genuine sounding way.
So creepy.
That I was like, oh yeah, okay. I mean, it's like, I don't think it was that good.
Hey, ChatGPT, is my podcast good? Or
it's so. But then I realized, it's because that's what I would say to myself, to make myself feel good, right? It's like it, and that's what like people using it for therapy aren't. It's just you are talking to a mirror, like that. You are literally talking to yourself because it is just echoing the language that you're using back to you in a like way that has been programmed to be 10% more positive. So it's like it's. An interesting thing where I feel like we're going to end up with a society that is comically narcissistic, like unknowingly people are becoming obsessed with themselves
and just kind of wholly unable to hear like real constructive criticism and outside voices of their bubble. Yeah, men
who are leaving their wives to pursue relationships with their AI. It's like, oh, you just want to fuck yourself. You just want to be in love and have a relationship with yourself.
At least I'm big enough to just admit it.
Yeah.
I coulda would.
You're a hero.
Is that why I keep seeing your husband wearing your clothes? Are you making him do that? That's messed up.
But it looks so cute when
he
they match.
Looks so cute.
I mean, if he's cool with it, I guess I don't want to yuck your yum, but
thank you.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Who's to say? Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
You
hope you like Italian.
You brought up earlier that this is basically a walking sim.
Yeah.
And Seth Art 18 wanted to know why everyone refers to it as that. Like casual gamers and hardcore gamers all view it in the same way. Why does it boil down to walking sim for this fella?
I mean, it's like that is the majority of what you're doing.
Okay.
Most of so especially for the first game, right? Most of that game is walking across the country delivering, and that you have interactions with ghosts and you have interactions with terrorists and other stuff, but by and large, most of your time is spent walking, to the point where it's like your controller has, you have to balance your body. Like if you're climbing up a mountain with a big backpack on, it's so it's like you have to use the trigger buttons to maintain balance for yourself. And, your movement in the game, where most games are like, one button is jump, one button is, crouch, one button is shoot, like these kinds of things. Like the entire controller is mapped to just controlling your every appendage of your body in physical space in like a really unique way. So you get to this new game, and I feel, if the first game is like an analogy for the internet age, I feel like this game becomes very quickly an analogy for the birth of like the smartphone. Because as soon as you start getting into this game for real, it is so overwhelming. There are so many things.
Like once you're in Australia.
Yeah, once you get to Australia and you start connecting things up, everybody in Australia is like, oh, you can make ramps now. Here's a ramp you can take and do sweet jumps in your truck off of this ramp. Here's a hot spring digger that'll just dig you a hot spring for no real reason other than to have a nice bath. And the number of just like weapons, especially too, that there are probably 10 times more weapons in this game than were in the previous game. And I think that's, obviously very intentional. You're in Australia, which has it's like they passed some pretty strict gun control laws, a while ago, and seems to be working as far as the numbers of mass murders that happen there, which is relatively none compared to our many, right? But now in this like weird world where you are trying to reconnect everyone again, now everybody is fucking gun crazy, and there's rocket launchers and tons of grenades and just like all sorts. And there are so many, when you're moving through the world, there are so many things happening. It truly is like having, remembering what it was like pre-smartphones to what it is like there is never not something you could be distracting yourself with, right?
Yeah.
To the point where, so one of the new characters of this game, his name is Doll Man, and that's because he's a doll.
What?
He's a doll. Do you know what dolls are? I didn't like how I said, like, it was weirdly dismissive, and I'm sorry. So I'm going to roll that back. Mm-hmm. He is a man who is a doll.
I don't. What's a doll? You were right. You were right to talk to me like I was stupid. Rich, you were right.
Shouldn't have second-guessed myself.
Yeah.
I should second-guess myself. Pardon me. I'm from the bayou now. Mm-hmm. Down in that old bayou. Now, you come visit me in that Norland, yeah? All right. Yeah. Gumbo. So he's a guy.
We're an hour in, and I still don't know what happens in the game.
Right? He's a guy who had a daughter, and his wife died, and the daughter was sad. So he went and found the ghost of his wife.
What kind of doll?
So his daughter had a doll, like a little marionette doll.
Okay, marionette, that helps.
And they both got swallowed up by goo, and
just like the white stripes.
And his his ha and his ka split, and his spirit went into this doll, and so now he's doll man.
So he's not like a human. Okay. So
He used to be a man, now he's a doll.
No, it's
doll
not.
man.
Okay.
I don't.
Great.
I'm so sorry.
And
I
for
don't know
some
why I got
reason-
confused.
For some reason, he has full control of his head and mouth, and he can speak. He can do also. He can move. He can move his arms completely independent. Cannot move his legs at all. For I don't know why. Cannot move his legs, so he has to be carried around on strings.
Okay.
And he becomes your in-game companion that you strap to your belt and take with you everywhere. And he
he's
never
new
shuts
baby.
up.
He's kind of
he's
the
new
Lou
Lou.
of this game.
Well, no, Lou's still there.
But
So again, this is.
Didn't Lou?
So this is not spoiling it. This is very early. All this is
You can't
very
spoil
early.
anything. I'm too confused.
I'm just for our listener who might have a little bit more
I
of
love
a
that you
handle
said
on
just
narrative than you.
singular listener.
Yeah, that one guy.
That one person who
Thanks,
went,
Eric.
I'm
He's
hanging in
cool.
there.
Is that his name? I've been wondering.
My husband? Oh, our listener.
Yeah,
Yes
your,
to both.
Your husband does not listen to this podcast. I hate to break it to you.
Yep.
He might look at the episode recaps to talk to, be like, "Oh yeah, you talked about Beetlejuice, right?"
He'll be in your DMs. I love that that's your pull. That was like 2 years ago.
What
Beetlejuice.
was it really?
Yeah.
I think so.
I thought that was.
It was at least a year ago because it was last October.
Oh yeah, it did come out last October. That makes sense. Then I don't. So I
I spent a lot of time on the beach. Time is nebulous.
time
It's
means
fine.
nothing to me.
Yeah.
I just I don't know why I listened to it recently.
Oh, okay.
That's why it was on my brain. That's why I was like in the beginning, and now I look the fool.
No, I love it.
Egg on my face.
I always wanna
That
talk
I was
about
like the most
Beetlejuice.
recent episode that came out for some. I don't know why. I have automatic downloads on my podcast app, and it's typically pretty good. But that Beetlejuice
Just threw
episode
Beetlejuice
was
into
in the like front loaded spot, like most recent downloaded episode. I was like, oh, they must be just doing like a throwback to when Beetlejuice came out. But the fact that it came out a year ago makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we're pretty timely like that.
Yeah. Also, in the very beginning, Amy's like, well, "Yeah, I just saw it. I just came from the theater yesterday. Didn't clock that at all. Didn't think to question that. It's like, well, all right. I don't know what she's up to."
A-list is pretty wild.
Yeah. You slip the right kid a 20, they'll put anything on
Watch
those.
Beetlejuice, that's fine.
Well, so anyway,
Wait, okay.
go back and listen to the Beetlejuice episode, everyone. It's,
Yeah,
it's a good
stop.
one.
Thank you.
It's a just the
I
filthies.
thought Lou got shot.
Yeah.
So again, very early game stuff. It's made quite clear that Sam is having a hard time processing his grief, and so a big
From all
part
the
of this
killing
game.
himself.
Well, yeah, he's I don't. It kind of feel as a player character, you feel like they don't like what he's doing seems easy. Like they don't need him at this point. Like they could just because now you have a ship and the ship can travel and it's very cool. But the ship can also fly, so it kind of it's like they could just fly place to place, and you as a player get that sense right when you start traveling through Australia, and you kind of realize that like they are trying to help their friend process his grief because he can't. He's struggling, and he's still carrying around this pod that it's made quite clear that it is empty. But as Sam the character, you always see Lou in it.
Okay.
And so Sam knows that Lou's dead more or less, but thinks that Lou's spirit is there with him and is like returned to this fetal state in the pod that you carry with you.
Gotcha.
So that mechanic and everything, it's all the same. Lou's still there. The whole, he loves when you take a piss. He fucking loves when you take a piss. Still don't know why, but she loves it. And she loves bumpy car rides, so you get likes from when do bumpy car rides. But then you remember that Lou's not there and it's all in Sam's head, and it's super sad, right? Because now he's pissing, and the only person there is a grown man in a doll's body, and he's not saying anything.
He's not giggling at the pee?
No.
Okay.
But, which is interesting because he also never shuts up. And I think it's intentional. Like you can in the settings, adjust how often he pipes up, but default it's like all the fucking time, and it's like the most I don't need to know that when you've finished something, he's like, well, you finished that job, good job, Sam. It's very innocuous, just fluff. You have interesting conversations with him later, but by and large, when you're walking through the world, he's just constantly chiming in your ear.
You can say it. It's like me on this podcast 24/7. Occasionally a good conversation and a lot of just, wow!
I was going to say, if this game is supposed to be about the smartphone, that kind of is that bombardment of constant attention and notifications.
And I don't know if it...
And validation, too.
Yes. That character is constantly validating everything you do.
That's really...
When you pick up, it's like you've got a job, somebody lost some stuff. You got to go pick up 5 packages out of a river. Once you get the 5th one, he's like, wow, Sam, you got them all. Let's go deliver.
But that's having a smartphone now of I can't do anything without somebody going, wow, that dinner looks great. I need the constant.
And so many other things. So in the first game, all of the extra world material, the lore and stuff you got through a personal computer that was in your room, and you would have to go to the computer, go to your email, and that's how you got information. In this game, it's all on in this game, it's a ring. So it's a ring that they wear on their thumbs, but it's basically, a smartphone. And so the email function has been replaced by the Strand social network. And so now everything comes through as basic, Instagram posts that you can like a bunch of times. And it does kind of feel like everything is geared more it feels very much in line with where we are at our average digital presence.
Sure.
Right?
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
So
honestly, I haven't talked about anything that I wrote.
Well, good. An hour in is when we should really get into it. That makes so much sense.
So there's a plate gate that connects Mexico to Australia, and that's why we go to Australia.
Why not?
Sure.
And George Miller, famous Australian film, he's the pilot of the ship.
Great.
He has one hand.
Cool.
Because his other hand was lost in the tar. And tar has replaced most water also. Did I mention that at some point?
You said goo got people.
Goo gets people.
I didn't ask a question. I just laughed like Muttley from Wacky Racers. Just saying. Okay.
That's a good I like that.
Thank you.
Thanks. Most water has been replaced by tar.
Okay. Sure.
On the beach, water is tar-ish. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. The ghosts live in it. It's it's just kind of part of the thing.
We can't possibly get sidetracked on every.
And George Miller is very familiar with this kind of situation, so I'm glad he's a pilot.
So he was a tar fisherman. He was fishing for ghosts, and as you do, it's like if water's replaced by tar and ghosts live in the tar, then it's like, what are you going to do as a fisherman? I guess I fish for ghosts now. Yeah. That makes sense. He lost his hand in the tar, but his hand is still out there, and he can read the tar currents that flow under the Earth's crust. Okay. So that's how you kind of travel around in your ship. Rad. Well, it's also his dead son is connected to his hand. It's a whole thing.
Sure.
It's a bummer. So everything is also a bummer. I
gathered that.
Everything that happens is also sad.
Do you think the tone of this game is sadder than the tone of the first game?
1,000,000%, yeah. Because the first game was about overcoming, kind of almost like misanthrope, like our natural desire to like pull away from other people because we feel uncomfortable, right? And it's a very internal process, and it's like, but it can also be a choice in like in a real way. Like you can choose to try to reframe the way you think about other people, and like what does connecting feel like, and is it a good thing? And in this game, you connect all of America, and then it turns out that because you did that, it has a pretty direct correlation to why your kid died. And so it very quickly becomes, no, it was a bad idea to do this. Yeah. And then as you go through the game, every time you connect up a new place to the new internet, the ghosts in the other unconnected places get way worse. So it's like you are actively bringing more harm with the intention of, it's like, well, if you just keep going, and then everything will be fine. But in the meantime, you're making things so much worse. And the entire time you are dealing with like a very real loss, which is so like, I feel like loss is, it comes from outside, right? It's still an internal process, but it comes from outside yourself. And it is something that happens to you that you have to process and that you can't control. Whereas the first game was about, kind of overcoming the things inside of us that hamper our ability to thrive. This is now, it's like, well, you've fixed it. Like you figured that out. You've grown as a person, but guess what? The world is still a like unforgiving and cruel place, and terrible things happen all the time. And so what happens when you've done everything right, but you still are just, everything you love is taken away from you, and by no choice or fault of your own, right? So having to deal with that is a huge thread through this game. So like it is much sadder. At the same time, I think it's also a lot like the other so like a huge core, I think, through line to this game is it's like the power of friendship, which was not, it's like in the first game you had associates, right? So it's like you had Die Hard Man, who was kind of your commander-ish kind of guy, and he was an associate. You had, remember Heartman, who kills himself every 21 minutes. Well, he has a disease where his heart stops every 21 minutes. And then he goes and searches the beach for his dead wife and daughter, and then comes back so that he can, like, and he's, all these people are like associates. Yeah. This game, you are making friends. Like you really are making real friends, and you do fun friend stuff with that. Like, and it's very
like what?
So that photo mechanic, you get like a Polaroid camera at one point, and you can go anywhere in your ship and like do a photo shoot with everybody, and you can like make everyone, it's very silly.
You can do a silly
it's
one.
Like very silly fun, because you can change everyone's pose, and you can, like everyone's having a good time, and they're, doing different fun poses to fun music. And it's like you see moments where it's like, oh, Sam is actively enjoying being around these people. Like you get little moments of it here and there. So and those moments are like really powerful, because most of the time he's just like this very sad man. But by the end, well, now I won't say anything about how the game ends, but like you keep making friends the more you go, and every new person that you meet is more and more enthusiastic about getting to know you, not because you brought them something, but just because they are, for lack of a better word, friendlier. Like, and I don't know if that's also just like, well, people in Australia are friendlier. I don't know. I've never been.
It feels like a stereotype that yes, they are. Like it's like, what a nice stereotype.
Yeah. So it's like, you've got the dual threads of like overcoming grief, and the only way you can really do that is with the connections that you make but I think it's very poignant in the game. It's like it is the connection, the physical connections to the people that he is with. So like it's only the people that are on the ship with you that you really become friends with.
Yeah.
Everyone
like
else,
the constant
right?
Noise of the
Exactly.
social
So it's
media
like
stand-in.
the people that you interact with through the like internet, you're just holograms. You're still just a porter to them, even though they might love that you are bringing them stuff. They're still not affecting you in any way. And the only real change in your life comes from being around people who care about you and who you care about. Huh. Like Elle Fanning.
Oh, we actually got a question about her.
Yeah.
Justin Lightbody wanted to know, did you feel like Elle Fanning's casting was out of place? Because he did.
No, I thought she was incredible.
Yeah,
honestly,
awesome.
like I thought she is a very interesting actor. I think she's done some weird stuff, and I feel like being the younger sister of like a famous actor kind of puts you in a weird corner where you end up it's like, well, I'm not really getting the roles that I want to do, so I'm going to do this other stuff just because it's what's available. And so I think she's had some of that, but she's also done some like really incredible work. And I think she's an incredibly talented actor. And in this game, it is a very weird position to put someone in where it's like you are one of the only new characters we're at, right? So it's like most of the characters are returning. There's a couple, the George Miller's there, and the Doll Man is new, but there's still a lot of people from the old game, and we're saying like pretty much she's the biggest of the new characters we're adding to this game. But you don't really have a lot to say because she comes from the other side, and she
Like a ghost?
From that world.
Okay.
And it's like part of the game is figuring out how exactly what her deal is.
Okay.
Right? Because we don't know. She's very mysterious. So we're figuring, but she doesn't have a lot to say because she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. But to not play that as like a dummy, like a kid basically, and to be like an adult person with agency, but still have very little control or understanding of the world around you. Like, that's a very hard role to play. But I think that she did pretty good. I mean, I don't know.
To call someone out of place in this world just feels
Also,
wild.
it is a world designed to like distract you from the like it's like there are famous film directors
just
who,
in it to
who
kind
are just
of
there.
have their face in it
Right.
to kind of make you go, is that? Yeah.
And it's not a question because when the first time you see those, it's like
Yeah.
it pops up real big on the screen, like special appearance,
That's
George
right.
Miller,
Yeah.
Performed by, and then it has the name of the actual person who
Yeah.
did the voice and movement for that character.
Crazy.
But like it's very intentional, these things. It's like. So I do feel like it would be hard to find anything or anyone out of place.
Yeah.
Christopher Lee, 1978. Oh, the year you were born. Great. All right. See, that's one of the ones we're going to throw out there.
I love it.
Was talking about how stacked the cast is, and wanted to know, as an actor, how do you feel about all these performances and what they're accomplishing in these in these games?
I think so this game goes even to really deep, like very emotional places. The first one did to an extent, especially with like Mads Mikkelsen, who was incredible. This game really gives some like scene-chewing scenes to some really talented actors, and they just fucking knock it out of the park. So there's an Italian actor who, Luca Marinelli. He plays kind of the Mads Mikkelsen role in this. So Mads isn't in this one, but the role that he fulfilled is now this different character, and it's this Italian actor, and he is unbelievable. Like I also think that the jump in technology between when they motion captured the first game to motion capturing this game was exponential. because the amount of subtlety in emotion that is portrayed on faces is like pretty astounding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's leagues ahead of any other like cutscenes from a game, right? That I am aware of. Yeah. But it's an incredible fucking performance. Like true, like honestly, it's Troy. No, I'm thinking of someone else.
Troy Baker?
Yeah, it is. No, yeah, it is. Oh my god, yeah, Troy Baker, who is the villain. He's the main villain. I don't know why I thought his last name was. So I was thinking. Anyway, doesn't matter. He's the villain in this game. His voice work is always spot on. Like every game he's ever done, he is an incredible voice actor. But this game is unique in that he gets to actually he is the character. He's doing the actual acting and it's one of the biggest performances I've ever seen, and he was fucking incredible. Like I could not imagine any other actor being able to do some of the insane things that he does, and like the takes that he brought to certain line readings that is just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's an absolute maniac, but like being allowed to do that in this world that is already so insane, it makes the performances so good. It's just so fucking good. Awesome. I don't know. Yeah, I can't. It's real good. Amazing. Whoever asked that question, they're good, is the answer.
Hell yeah.
I guess I don't know if we want to get into sort of, I don't necessarily want to spoil the end of this because I know a lot of we got people asking about like, oh, I just started this, that kind of thing. But I guess just kind of, is there anything this game left you with that you want to pass along?
I mean, that is tough.
Because I know you said it made you feel very emotional at the end. So I'm wondering kind of what that looks like.
Oh, God. What could I say that it's like, because however I felt emotionally is kind of going to dictate how the game kind of ends, right?
Sure.
Like from an emotional standpoint. Because it's like you've either, it's either like a kind of happy ending or a sad ending or some combination of them. Mm-hmm. I would say it's like I was devastated, but in a generally good way. Not good, but like in a way that felt very cathartic. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing.
I guess I just mean more like what do these games mean to you? You know?
Yeah, we did get a lot of, is this worth it? Because that was, K-Mark was 9, Dylan 8, who were just, hey, I'm starting it, but the other game is a lot, and should I even play this? Should I get into this?
I think, so the story would be, do a primer. If you're, the second game, I think is a lot more popular mainstream because it does have so much more mainstream game stuff in it, right? So it's like there's significantly more fighting and gun battles because there's just so much more shit going on, and because the more you connect things, the more things start to like go crazy. So and the game feels like that, just in like the amount of stuff that you can do by the end of the game feels crazy. Like I don't. You have moments where you're like, I don't know, but it is much more accessible in that way because it does have a lot more like traditional game elements in it by design. So if you were like, I don't like the first game, but I traditionally like Kojima's stuff or, some combination of that, I think it's worth putting in 2 or 3 hours just to like get into it, maybe like read a primer on the story, or listen to your favorite podcast, Two Filthy Casuals. You could have everything you need if you were there. You could be there. Yeah. You could be there by now. I'm stealing your catchphrase. And I'm doing a very bad job of it.
See, my job is hard.
It's very difficult.
Not everyone can do what I do. Mm-hmm.
Good old Dick Joke Newman. A pro.
DJ. It's an emotional experience and a story that like I don't have a comp for. Like it
truly sounds like there's just nothing.
And I
like
think that's
games out there.
for me maybe the biggest thing of why I love it so much is that like in a world where 90% of the media that is available to consume is a reiteration of either a reboot or a sequel. And I'm not, it's like I fucking love. It's like I'll show up for every Marvel movie in the theaters.
Beetlejuice was good. Like it was fine. It was fun.
I agree. It was good. Did Danny Elfman's wife need to be in it at all? If she wasn't there, would it have affected the story at all? No, I think.
Who?
Do you mean Tim Burton's wife?
Oh.
I said Danny Elfman's wife. It's like, Danny Elfman, the composer.
Yeah,
her wife was it. She had a very small role, which is why I was like, if she wasn't there, would you even know?
Oh, yeah.
No, Tim Burton's
weird? Do you
wife.
know who Danny Elfman's wife is? Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hot.
Yeah.
Continue.
Anyway, I think we should get more into the movie that came out a year ago.
Well, we're just covering it.
Jeez. But yeah, so there's everything is something else, and this is a thing that really isn't like anything else, and that's so wholly unique. And I think that there's a real hunger for that kind of stuff. It's like I think I'm not good. Boy, I don't do good with names, but Barbarian and
Eggers.
Krager's.
Krager's, yes.
Yeah.
Krager's. I think
Krager, yeah.
His movies, there's a lot that you can criticize about his, just in terms of filmmaking or story or whatever.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people who are like, I don't get it. But those movies also are experiencing an immense amount of success, regardless of what the story is, because they are not like other movies.
They're
that
unique
it's they're quite unique in the way that they are telling stories.
Yeah, both those movies have caught me off guard with things
exactly.
I didn't see coming. Yeah, Zach Krager is a good example.
And so I think that there's a real desire for that because it's just not something we get a ton of.
Yeah. Even if it's not one, and I always say it's make something that some people are going to go, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Don't try to just appeal to the largest common denominator.
Yeah.
Make the art you want to make, and the people it's for will find it.
I do like when something's polarizing.
Yeah.
The character Heartman, he's not performed by, but it's the scan of Rhys Effens. He's a director. He's a British film director. Maybe I wrote it down. Let's check the notes.
This is your reminder to watch
Nicholas
this on
Winding Refn.
Ooh.
Nicholas Winding Refn. I'm bad. But anyways, he is a film director, and he has a relatively well-known quote where it's if you've made a movie that everyone likes, you did something wrong. And Kojima has, in interviews, he repeats that line. It seems like he really takes that to heart of, he is actively trying, he wants to make something that not everyone is going to love. He wants it to be polarizing. If everybody loved it, it would mean that it's already, it's been, he said, he had a really good quote where it's it means it's pre-digested for consumption. Because everybody, already knows what it is, recognizes it, and likes it.
And so often it's it's hard to make something everyone loves, and that's impressive. What a lot of people do is make something everyone likes.
Yeah.
Where everybody goes, it's the pre-digested, that was okay. Mm-hmm. But it's make something big enough that some people are going to go, this is the most brilliant thing I've ever seen, and some people are going to go, yeah.
I didn't like it.
So, that said, if anyone dislikes this podcast,
you're wrong.
don't tell me it'll ruin my week. It'll ruin my week. It'll ruin my week.
And if you upset Amy, I gotta come beat you up.
Thank you.
That's in my contract. Legally, I have to do it.
Well, I know I feel like we
only skim
scratch the surface.
Yeah.
We didn't even. There's so no, hold on, because
No.
last time, just hang on, because last
Rich.
time we did not talk about the music at all.
We
didn't even,
this is the longest episode.
No, what are we at?
An hour and a
90
half.
minutes.
Are we really?
Yeah. Bud.
Good for us. We're really getting into it. Okay. Because the music, the first game was scored entirely by this obscure Icelandic band called Low Roar. Okay, and please go check out their music. It's really phenomenal. His plan was to be part of the second game. He died in the middle of the production of this game.
And
so
you wanted to skip talking
right,
about him.
That's I had to because we didn't talk about the music last time, and Low Roar was so he was an American guy that relocated to Reykjavik, started a band with some people, and Kojima was in a record shop one day and heard them on the sound system and was like, I like that. I'm going to give them my entire game. And so he called them up, they were recording music on their laptops, right? And they get a call from Sony being like, hey, I don't know if you've heard of Hideo Kojima, but he wants you to score this entire game. And they said yes, and it was incredible. And the way that music is used through the game is so incredibly powerful. So it was a really real tragedy when he died. All the people who were fans of this game were, it's that sucks on multiple levels. Yeah. Other, beyond just a person dying sucks. But so Kojima found this French guy named Woodkid. I don't know his real name, but that's his music name. He is equally weird, but he did this crazy thing where he wrote original songs for the game, but he also just scored the entire game. And the first game didn't have a ton of scoring. This game has a lot of scoring, and it is procedurally generated scoring. So he wrote hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of music and recorded all of this music electronically, and then assigned feelings and atmospheres to the sections of recording. So depending on what you're doing in the game, the music automatically will it recognizes what you're doing and will change to another part of his scoring that will then keep repeating until you do something else, and it will then change again. And it's the scoring is just it always matches what you're doing because it is being procedurally generated. And that's a very wild new thing that isn't really being done anywhere else. And I thought that was very cool.
It is.
And it's the first couple hours of the game are worth it just to see how that works in and of itself.
All right.
That is a cool mechanic.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
All right.
I
know. It's so hard to get through.
Stick and rope. I have that underlined.
I'm so sorry.
Look, the sticks, everything's a stick,
No.
and this game's
No.
a rope,
Ropes?
Amy.
Yeah. I know.
We didn't even talk about the main theme of the whole game is movement equals evolution, and if you stop moving around by living underground, you stop evolving, and that's the true Death Stranding. And isn't that the true Death Stranding after all?
Isn't that the Death Stranding we made along the way?
I feel like you're going to connect this to and you making me cap this at 90 minutes
is the real Death
is going
Stranding.
underground.
Well, it's because movement, you're exploring new places, and that's how creatures evolve, right?
Yeah.
We left the ocean, explored the land, and evolved along the way. And if we're not going to explore. There's a lot of bullet points and underlines that are new places that we could all learn from.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We'll
take pictures of your unreadable notes and post them.
Put them on Patreon.
Oh my God, coffin surfboards. I mean,
Hold on. No.
Okay. Amy says no. Amy says no. We can't talk about coffin surfboards. So,
Are they what they sound like?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right.
Yep, there's surfboards that are coffins. And
Sweet.
you can surf on them or hide in them.
Rich.
Oh my God, there's animals too. You can
Where
collect
can people find you?
You can collect animals and take them to a sanctuary and have a little zoo in the game. And sometimes an animal dies by accident and it's very sad, but you can erect a tombstone for the animal that died. I accidentally ran an animal. I didn't mean to. I did run I ran an a wombat over. I ran a wombat over in my truck and it died. And I was very upset. And I was like, well, what can I do? Like, because the game penalizes you. And I was like, well, can I do anything to unpenalize myself? And you can erect a tombstone for the little creature that you killed.
Do they have names, or is it just like your life?
It's wombat or emu, koala, kangaroo, Tasmanian devil. I think that's all the animals. Okay. No, bird. What's the bird in Australia that mimics people? Come on.
Is that a kookaburra?
No, but it's a big. It's like
a big one.
It's kind of like the size of a peacock, but it is very good.
An emu?
No, an emu's the size of an ostrich.
Yeah.
They big, don't fly.
Yeah.
This bird.
Big, but not as big.
Fly big, like turkey size.
Okay.
But they're very good at mimicking human voices. That's their thing. They're like a big bird that looks like a fancy peacock, but they can mimic human sounds, and they sound like crying babies a lot of the time.
Oh.
This is a very famous kind of bird.
Bird fandom, rise up.
So, see, this is why you need to have a laptop when we record, because you need to be able to look up these kinds of animals. Because,
Rich, where can people find you?
Down the street.
Okay.
Where I live.
You on social media or anything, or should we just?
Yeah, well, you get. So I live in L.A.
No,
right now.
Social media.
No, I'm moving to Chicago, so I'm not going to be doing anything here for. So if you are in Chicago in like 3 to 6 months, keep a lookout. I'll show up somewhere to do something.
Amazing.
But yeah, I'm Traub at Traub, Richard on Instagram. And you can check out wellcutwoods.com. That's my exotic wood business that I started online.
Wow.
Where I buy wood. It's from Vietnam. It's very beautiful. Beautiful exotic jungle woods. And we sell them.
Do you just sell the wood directly to people, or do you do something to it?
No, it's something. There are some like I make some stuff on there, but mostly it is
Here's some wood.
Some beautiful planks of wood.
Great.
That you can do whatever you want with.
Go get some wood.
Because it's hard to find. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Amazing.
You remember Austin Powers? No, this is me in a nutshell. Nutshell. It's great. I love Austin Powers.
And as for us, you can find it. And as for us, and I've never had to get combative with a guest, Rich. Don't make me start. And as for us, you can find us wherever you get your podcast. We're there, or on YouTube if you want to see the video version of this. YouTube.com, Two Filthy Casuals Pod. You can find us on all the social media, Two Filthy Casuals Pod, and we're on Patreon if you want more episodes, patreon.com/Two Filthy Casuals Pod. Come support us. It helps a lot. You can also like, subscribe, comment, 5 stars, pass this on to a friend if you know someone who likes this game. It all helps a ton.
Yes. Feed the algorithm, Daddy. Thank you.
I'm sorry I got hostile there.
No, that's okay. But it's,
you know what? It was powerful. I like to see it. It's
very reminiscent of kind of like the themes of American colonialism and expansion involved in the game, because you're the American internet taking over Australia, and so it's kind of it's fitting that you would go there, because it is quite a bit like that thing.
I've always said that about Amy. Every show.
She's a colonizer, and there's nothing,
Jesus Christ.
What can we do? It's, she wants to colonialize my appearance or time. It's something, maybe your time as a listener.
Hey, folks, until next time, I'm your favorite colonizer, Amy Newman.
And I'm Chris Carr.
And remember, if you followed this fandom, you would be home by now. Hey, baby.
A shout out to my listeners on the bayou.